Kevin, that mic is live, okay?
Good evening, folks. The time is 6:30 p.m. The regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of Borough of Freehold for December 18th, 2023 is now called to order. Notice of the time, date, and location of this meeting was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Chief Dispenza, please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Kane.
Here.
Councilman Benedetto.
Here.
Councilwoman Jordan. Here. Councilman Wright.
Here.
Councilwoman Rogers. Here. Councilman Schnurr.
Here.
Councilwoman Schutzer. Here.
Okay, item for this evening is the approval of minutes, council meeting December 4th, 2023.
I'd like to move those minutes, please. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto.
Yes.
Jordan. Yes. Wright.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnurr.
Yes.
Schutzer. Yes.
Minutes of the council meeting December 4th, 2023 are approved. Item 5 is the second reading and public hearing. Ordinance 2023/28, creating a downtown business improvement zone, DBIZ, within the borough of Freehold. This is second reading and public hearing. I'd like to open up to the public. If anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public comment, I entertain a motion to close the public portion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto.
Yes.
Jordan. Yes. Wright.
Yes.
Rogers. Yes. Schnurr.
Yes.
Schutzer. Yes.
The public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/28 and authorization of publication.
I'll move that.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023/28 is adopted. Item 6 this evening is the second reading and public hearing ordinance 2020/30, amending and supplementing Title II, Administration and Personnel of the Code of the Borough of Freehold, creating the position of police chaplain. Again, this is second reading and public hearing. To open it up to the public, if anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Seeing no comment from the public, I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Okay, public portion is closed. We have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/30 and authorization of publication.
I'll offer that.
Second, please.
Discussion?
Yes, this is by title only, there is no salary or rank involved in this. The police department just would like to have a chaplain.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023/30 is adopted. Item 7 is the second reading public hearing ordinance 2023/31, amending and supplementing Chapter 10, Vehicles and Traffic. Again, this is second reading and public hearing. Anyone from the public care to address this ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Again, seeing no public comment, I'd like to entertain a motion. Whoops,
I
sorry.
just wanted to note, there was a typo in 10.24.015C. It's supposed to say contiguous to the market yard, parking lot. It says continuous, so that's supposed to be contiguous. Contiguous, just like the feet right by it.
Okay,
We're gonna make that change.
thank you. Any further public comment? Entertain a motion to close the public portion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Okay, we have a resolution adopting ordinance 2023/31 and authorization of publication with that one correction.
I'll move it.
I'll second, please.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023/31 is adopted. Item 8 this evening is our consent agenda. And just a note that matters listed on the items of the consent agenda are required to conduct the day-to-day operations of the borough and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired of any item, that item will be considered separately. Would somebody like to move items CR1 through CR9?
I would like to move this, please.
I'll second, please.
Discussion?
Yes, I would just like to welcome Thomas Decker to the Freehold Fire Department.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan? Yes. Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnurr?
Yes.
Shutzer?
Yes.
Consent agenda items CR1 through CR9 are adopted. That's the end of our consent agenda. Item 9 this evening is a very special moment in the borough of Freehold. We've been working very, very hard to get to this point. And we want to do a little presentation, Steve, before we get to...
Actually, Mr. Ryan was going to do that.
Okay, we're going to have a little presentation before we adopt the item 9 resolution. Yeah, we'd like to ask our redevelopment attorney, Joe Bauman, if he could just set the table a little bit for us on this procedure.
So, Mayor and Council, I thought I'd make 2 seconds before our presentation begins to maybe remind us where we are, where we're going, because it's been a journey already. And it's been a journey in all the best ways. Freehold Borough is taking this very seriously, very deliberate, very carefully. You have not rushed through this process by any estimation. I've done this for a long time. The amount of time and effort that you unfortunately, the public doesn't get to see all that, doesn't get to see the citizens committee that gathers together, that went on tours. They didn't get to see the Historic Society that commented and did interviews. All the time and energy has been put into this council to get to this point. So I'll remind you, when we decided way back when that it was going to be appropriate to find an area in town and we wanted to redevelop and jumpstart the economic development of Freehold Borough, we settled in on a location right adjacent to the old municipal building and near the fire department. We picked that location because it had a significant size of property. It was going to be next to our plans for a museum at the fire station and our ultimate goal of moving the fire department into a brand new facility. We went through the process declaring a needed redevelopment, went through planning board hearings, the council had a number of hearings. We picked and choose some of the properties that we individually thought to put in the area, didn't. We ultimately decided not to put it in the area. Also sort of an effort or a demonstration of how much thought went into this process. It wasn't just what the planner or anyone initially said. We took feedback from the public, from the property owners. We settled on an area. Then we went through the process of developing the zoning for this process, right? We also went through a very careful zoning effort, again, coming back and forth, this council to the planning board, back and forth, taking comments from the public to get to what we would think was going to be the appropriate zoning for that property. Another sort of enormous effort that went along. And through this process, we've been engaging with all of the property owners that are in the area, and we've tried to reach agreements with them, and we'll be dealing with them as we continue to go forward. And then we decided, okay, now we've decided that we want to put it in a redevelopment area. We're going to adopt a plan. Let's put it out to the public, the world, and find out who would be interested in developing in our town, who wants to come to Freehold Borough and develop. And for me, we got a record number of responses, a truly record number of responses. And we began to cull through those responses. We looked at them from a legal perspective. Did they all check all the boxes? To be able to qualify, we started to call some other references. Mayor formed a committee. People went and visited their sites. We shortlisted that group, and then we got into a shortlist even further, and then we ultimately, tonight, is a recommendation that you conditionally designate the group that's going to speak to you. But I think we would be remiss if we didn't remind ourselves, two years that we've been at this process, and then, maybe revisit where we're going from here. So what's on your agenda tonight is to conditionally designate the Meridian Group as the redeveloper of this property. Conditional is really the most important word in here. They have a lot of work to still do, and they demonstrate a willingness to date to work with us to get to the point where we actually do designate them. What the conditional designation does for us is it does two very important things, one for us and one for them. One for us, it starts the escrow account. So to this day, most of the costs were absorbed by the municipality. We're going to look to get some of that reimbursed by them. Going forward, they will be paying away professional fees, similar to what happens at a planning board. So we've shifted the cost effectively now going forward to the escrow account. Very important dynamic. And then we've made a pledge to them, which is for a period of time, we're going to exclusively negotiate with you to get to a redevelopment agreement. And we're going to take that very seriously. And that's going to be the next step. That's going to take us months. And then we'll be back before you and before the public to start to unveil what the project is going to look like. What are the economics of the transaction? What is this design? How big it's going to be? All those kinds of things that are not going to be revealed today because it's too soon. So tonight will be both rewarding and perhaps at some level people might still feel like they need to know more. I understand. They need to know more because they're going to want to know, okay, what's the project going to be that you guys are talking about? What are the economics going to be of that transaction? How many jobs are going to be created? Who's going to live there? What are the rents going to be? We're not going to have any of those answers tonight, but we will. And just like everything you've done thus far, it's going to be revealed to the public in the same way we had that public charrette early on in the process. We're going to make sure that we're transparent when we can be transparent. It's just some of these details, it's not the time for that. So tonight, on your agenda, if you favorably review, look upon this proposal favorably, we're asking you, the professional team, I think the committee, I think perhaps even the historic council committee, are all generally recommending favorably, after all that effort, that the council consider them as a conditional redeveloper. So this is coming with recommendation from the entire professional team unanimously. But again, we've told them to present who they are, share with you their CV, their other projects, tell you about their team, but they're not going to be able to share with you today exactly what they intend to build, because we're not so sure. We're not agreed with them on what should be there yet. We're not ready to present that to you. And that's going to be, again, a lot of back and forth with the governing body and the committees and everyone else itself to figure that out. So it's a huge, as the mayor described, this is a huge win in our view, that so many people were interested, and we had such an amazing number of applications to pursue and consider, and that they rose to the top of that process. It was clearly the best of the best that we're proposing. And we still have a lot more to do. In 2024, we're going to get a lot of that done. Things are going to pick up, I think, at a pace that was probably, it's going to be a little faster than we've seen today. We'll be able to reveal things much more quickly. But again, I wanted to, two things. One, remind us all we've been through, where we still have to go, and then compliment this governing body, the mayor, and your team, to allow this level of thought and care and diligence to get you to this point. Again, it doesn't happen very often. Not everyone has that patience. You show incredible patience. Incredible thought. Our questions as a team. We ask our questions to them. So we wholeheartedly recommend the professional team. I speak for the business administrator that you favorably consider them. And I'll turn it over to them. Unless you have any questions of me, any further before we move on. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, as Mr. Baumann said, the past is essentially prologue, and we've arrived at first base. Took a lot of time to get here. A lot of people were involved, and I don't need to reiterate what Joe had said, but we're basically at a point where we have the parameters of what we're looking for, but there's a lot of artwork that's going to take place to fill in the middle. The recommendation is for Meridia to be designated as conditional developer tonight. Representing them here this evening is Craig Rhino, and he's going to take over and walk you through this presentation. Craig?
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, I want to thank you very much for this. This is a true honor for our company, a true milestone that we are very, very proud of. We understand everything that Mr. Baumann and Mr. Gallo said, that we're at the beginning of this process. Okay, there's a lot to go, and it's a very serious process, one that we take very seriously to understand, and I think we've assembled a team. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company, about where we've been and what we've done, but the best is yet to come, and we feel that we'll do that here today, here in Freehold Borough, with the assistance of the team that you gathered, and we think we're the right people to get this done. One thing I want to start off with is tell you a little bit about Capadagli, but Mr. Capadagli, who runs our company, could not be here tonight. He sends his apologies for not being here. The only thing more important to Mr. Capadagli than his company is his family. Had a previous arrangement with his two grandchildren tonight, and when he made a commitment to them months ago, he couldn't break it. But he will be very much involved. I have to call him as soon as I get out of here. And he wants to thank everybody and every member of this, and it's a real honor to him to be chosen to help you guys develop downtown Freehold Borough. We'll tell you a little bit about something. We're just going to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we've done. Right now, we probably own and manage over 3,000 apartments throughout the state of New Jersey. We have, and mostly when we go into towns, we don't do one project, we do multiple projects. Our second project in Hackensack is this 106 unit with a diner on the first floor. It was a corner building, but more importantly, it's one of 5 projects that we're doing in Hackensack. And in Hackensack, we're very proud of the fact that the last 2 projects were on pieces of property that the town owned and sold to us. And so we'll probably, when we're done in Hackensack, do over 1,000 units. And this is just one of them. First floor has our restaurant, diner. It's open right now. And any buildings that I show you tonight, and any buildings that I talk to you about, if you want to visit, we'll be happy to take you through those if anybody has to see them. The second building, again, we'll talk about multiple projects. This is the 213 residential unit project in Roselle Park that is completed and been occupied for 2 or 3 years. This building was completed the month that COVID hit our country, and yet we were still able to fully lease these 213 units within 2 months. So we understand that there's a real need. We think we did a really great job with that. Most of our buildings right now, in fact, all of our buildings right now are averaging about 95% occupancy and about 98% collection. We're collected on 98% of the rents. So, and we keep it at 95 on purpose so that we can continually measure the market and understand what the market is. Currently, I'm going to show you another project we're doing in Roselle Park. This is 213. We're doing another 325 units there. This is the project that a lot of you have viewed and walked through. This is the brownstones. When it's finished, it'll be over 500. It'll be just short of 500 units. It's based on the New York brownstones. Yeah, as you can see when you're looking down there, some of the units on the outside actually have outside entrances in addition to, they're all apartments by the way, in addition to the interior entrances. And I'm going to show you a whole photo array of this project. What happened here? These are the different outsides so you can see how more and more how it looks like a brownstone. This is some of the interior units. Those outside units have steps to the outside, so that's why you see steps. All of our units have granite countertops, hardwood floors, stainless steel appliances. They vary from studio apartments up to 2 bedrooms. And that's an example of what happened here. Am I getting something wrong? Yes. Steve, I need your help. This is not my forte, technology. Should have Tom do this. There we go. These are some of the common areas. There's about 8 common areas in this area, in this building. On the left is our largest common area. It has a full kitchen where our people can come. They can rent that out. They can have parties there. They can use the kitchen, all those facilities. On the bottom left is our computer room. And on the bottom right, you can see that there's a special conference room off to the right, an area where our people can all gather. And like I said, there's about 8 of those in this building. Yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I'm messing with my bad hand. This is one of our TV lounges where people can go and watch sporting events or whatever they want. There's about 8 TVs within it, again in that building, in addition to the computer lounge and to the kitchen areas. This is, again in that building, foosball, table tennis, that type of thing. This is our indoor pool in that building, and what it does, it opens onto a courtyard. So those are garage doors that open up, as you can see in the top left versus the top right, but that's our indoor pool that our residents get to use on a year-round basis and have those inside and outside. This is the outdoor courtyard between the 2 buildings where people go, they play cornhole, but there's a gym out there, there's basketball out there, there's an area that they can gather, there's fire pits, and on the right-hand side, there's outdoor patios. We have 3 of those that are elevated. So this is some of the common areas. Top right-hand corner is a favorite of mine. That's a golf simulator that we have in there, and a lot of times people have parties in there with the golf simulator. On the bottom left, you can see some outdoor cornhole contests and some outdoor seating arrangements and some different areas. And again, here's another just look at the hardwood floors and the finishes of our building. Right now, and you can come to any of these buildings, these are 9 projects that we have under construction right now within the state of New Jersey. Lincoln Park, Roselle Park, another, like I said, 325 units. Brook, we have 4 projects. Linden, this is our 3rd project in Linden, which is 402 units. Little Ferry is our first project. We're talking to the mayor about a 2nd project in Little Ferry. On the bottom right, I don't have a more recent picture, but you can see those are green roofs with grass and whatnot. That's in South Orange. That's recently completed. And in Pompton Lakes, we're doing 200. So we're in diverse areas. Some downtown areas like Hackensack, Roselle Park, some more country, areas where Mountain Lakes, Lincoln Park and Pompton Lakes. But these are the projects. I show you these projects to show the financial strength of our company. We do all this. We have no partners. We do all this with our own money. We'll do this project with our own money. We've already talked to 2 banks. We have preliminary commitments for this project once we work out all the agreements. That's just some of the projects that we have. This is about our team. But before I tell you about the project, go on to our team. I showed you 9 projects that we worked on, 3 that we've completed. Like I said, we have about 4,000 units. Freehold will be different Freehold Borough will be different from every project that we have. We understand and appreciate the historic and what you have downtown. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that one of the reasons that we were so intrigued by this is the success that you already have in your downtown area. In a lot of these areas, we had to come in and create the ambience. Down here, we have to continue it. We have to recognize the historic value of your buildings. We have to recognize the success that you have in your downtown outdoor dining among the shops and whatever, where most towns don't have that. And that's one of the reasons why we fought so hard to be here, because there's not a lot of opportunities like there are in Freehold Borough. And we're very, very appreciative that we're going to be able to work here with that. And very cognizant that you've given us something that we have to work together to make even better than anything we've ever done before. Anything we show you which is nice will be better here. Just to tell you a little bit about our company, I talked to you about Mr. Capadagli, who's the founding and managing member. Anybody involved in the project, if you haven't already met him, you will. He'll be involved in every detail. Myself, who talks too much. Dennis LaLoya, who's here now as our general counsel. He'll be very much involved in this project, as he is with all of them. Our CFO, Tom Farley. Our Chief Asset Officer, who manages all our own buildings. Plus, we manage thousands of other apartments. We're in New York, we're in Indianapolis, we're now looking at Cincinnati, where we manage other people's apartments besides our own. And there's a reason why we did that. When we first started, and this is important, when we first started, we had an outside firm do our apartments. And the quality of our tenants and the quality of our buildings was not where we wanted to be. It didn't hit the bar that we had set. So we went in-house, developed our own assets, developed our own system for managing our apartments, developed our own family. For those people who toured our buildings, they got to meet our people, from our maintenance people through to our leasing people, to all of the people who work in these buildings. A lot of them live. Most of our buildings have live-in managers, people who are there that if something goes wrong in the middle of the night, you can call them, they're on site, they're there to fix the problem. There'll be an on-site manager here. And we're very proud of the fact that we want our buildings to look really good. We want our people to be qualified and to be the right people, and we do that through our asset officer. Tom Masaggio is here, who works with us in making sure that we understand who our target market is, how we're going to reach that target market, what the rents need to be, what the financials need to be. And then John Longo, who, as I said before, we already have 2 people interested in doing this project. So, as we talked about, and as Mr. Bauman talked about, we've come a long way. It's been a 2-year process. We've gone, and it's been a very, very rewarding process because every step of the way we learned more about what Freehold Borough was about and about what you people wanted and what we need to do to accomplish that. So we've assembled what we think is a really, really good team to work with your borough to accomplish that. Barton Ross, who's in the back of the room, he's going to be our project engineer. He's an expert in historic buildings, has worked on many, many projects throughout New Jersey. Recently was involved with a very successful project at downtown Montclair, and so he understands how working with historic areas, working downtown, but that's just one project. I don't think there's anybody in New Jersey that knows more about the historic project, the avenues for working those than Barton. I'm very proud to have him on our team. Dynamic Engineering will be our civil engineer. They're well respected throughout the state. They work on a lot of projects. We've used them in many, many projects. They'll do a good job here. Same for traffic. Craig Paraguay will be the traffic engineer. When it came to project engineer, project attorney, when I talked about assembling the team, we used Barton because he understands the historic necessities of what's going to happen in these things to make sure that we maintain and progress on the historic value of downtown. But we also knew that we needed some local flavor, people who have been in the borough working in land use for a long, long time. Peter Licata is going to head up that team along with his partner, and we're very excited about that. We think that they're going to give us a lot of local flavor that we didn't want to bring an attorney who didn't understand Freehold Borough, so we thought that was very important to the team. And then our last member is John McDonough, who will be our project planner. I have all the resumes, but I don't want to kind of bore you with all that. I think I've told you how important this project is to us, how we're going to work with you and listen to you. I think we've demonstrated that to a lot of the members. That's why we're here tonight. That's my presentation. I'm going to keep it short, and that's it. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody from the governing body? Any questions for Craig? No? Good? Yeah, we've had ample opportunity to ask you guys all the questions we've had, but no, thank you very much. We're looking forward to this. Everyone said it's been a long process, and it's exciting. We're finally at the starting line, and it's a great time. So that being said, item 9 this evening is a resolution designating conditional redeveloper for properties identified as Block 35, lots 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 26.02, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32 on the tax map of the borough, and authorizing the execution of a conditional redevelopers agreement with respect thereto. Someone like to move that?
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yes. I used to work up in Roselle, so I visited the Roselle Park facility and the 2 Linden facilities, as well as the Rahway facility that these guys have built.
further discussion?
I'd just like to say, I want to thank the team that we put together on here. It wasn't us that made this decision that whittled all this down. It was a dedicated team of residents and, our town historian and, some of our residents, our business people, that they're the ones that really had the input on this, and they worked a good year, I think it was a year or so on this, and I just wanted to say thank you for them and for guiding us along this way.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted, and congratulations, and I just personally want to put on the record, thank you to everyone that's helped in this process. Through the leadership of our administrator, Steve Gallo, Redevelopment Council, Joe Bauman, and you've walked us through. I remember early on when we were finally going out for proposals, and I was talking to Joe, I said, what do you think? What would be good? He said, if we get 2 or 3 from serious builders, that would be a great thing. And we got 9 proposals. There is tremendous interest in Freehold Borough. And even though that was great, it made our job harder. We put together, as Councilwoman Jordan said, redevelopment committee of diverse participants within our community, business, residents, and professionals. And we went through the process, and interviewed 5 of the 9, I believe, and got it down to 3, did site visits and more interviews, more site visits, and then the committee finally decided on Meridia. So I just want to thank everyone, especially Joe and Steve, for everything you've done to get us to this point. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Welcome to the borough.
Okay, item 10 this evening is approval of bills.
I'll move that we pay our bills.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, I'll be abstaining on item number 47575 because it's a reimbursement to me for money I paid for the seniors market.
Any further discussion?
Yes, and I'll be abstaining from 01821, looking at newspapers.
Any other discussion?
Yes, I'll be abstaining on vendor 65098 for Zippo.
Any discussion down this way?
I'm good, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson De Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Schuster?
Yes, except for the aforementioned number.
Okay, our bill list for this evening is approved. Item 11 is a redevelopment presentation, 10 to 16 Holdings Realty LLC, 10 to 16 West Main Street, Block 71, Lot 9. For a waiver of site plan approval for permitted change of use of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors from commercial use to 10 residential apartments. I'd like to ask our attorney, Mr. Good, if you could just talk about this for us.
Thank you. Well, I don't know what else to add to this one. This is the 3rd time we've been here. Originally, we had 14 units, some questions regarding outside, some parking issues. They reduced the number because of the comments from the council here about the density. They reduced the number from 14 down to 11. There were still some issues with the density. That was the last meeting we were here. They have submitted another amended site plan. The change is reduce it from 11 to 10 units. They seem to have omitted the small little 300 square foot studio that was down on the 2nd floor. This is still, they're proposing to change of use from commercial to residential on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors, remaining commercial / retail on the 1st floor. It is an allowed use in the downtown zone. We're here before the redevelopment committee because of the change of use. So with that, I will leave it to Mr. Steinberg.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Steinberg on behalf of the applicant, 10-16 Holding Realty LLC. We were here about 2 weeks ago all substantially sized units, on 3 floors. Your other comment was, what are we gonna do with the trash enclosure? We now have on your plans submitted a designated area on the first floor of 80 square feet, which is going to be used for all of the trash enclosures indoors. And the applicant will then hire help who will take out those garbage units on the appropriate days and then bring them back. So they won't be seen, they'll be within the building, and will be brought out on other days and back. The other 2 items that you talked about was density in general. Pretty large buildings on a small piece of property, and because of the number of floors, the number of units, the density is a little higher than you anticipated. 14 is too much. 11 was too much. We've got it down to 10. Mr. Steiner has given, we have some facts concerning the density of other similar buildings in the area.
So we have around the corner, building 10, 12, 14, 16 South Street is an 8-unit apartment. The whole building is over like 9,300 square feet, the whole building. And this building we're talking about is total over 20,000. We're doing just about 10, 2 more.
Right, but, so we're doing the density is much lower than that, though.
Sure.
Go ahead.
And then you have on 54 West Main Street, I find another building for the square footage here.
West Main, East Main, which?
West Main.
West Main.
54 West Main.
4?
54.
54.
54. It's also a 4-family. And this comes out over here.
What was the first one?
10, 12, 14, 16 South Street. It's an 8-family.
8 units, 9,300
300.
square feet. This is 10 units on how many square feet? Yours.
It's over 20,000.
On 20,000 square feet.
And this is talking about 5,000. The ground area is 2471. It's double. So around 25,000 square feet. That's 4 families.
4 on 5,000.
And commercial downstairs. So basically the whole 4-family is on 2,400 square feet.
So your findings are that the
Right.
density of this
That is
building.
huge, it's big. I can find a lot of houses, single homes that they don't have 1,100, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms in town.
No, we're
Right. It's big. A 2-bedroom apartment, 1,100 square feet. It's very nice size.
And the last thing that you're concerned with is parking. I know Mrs. Schutzer is very much concerned with parking. Now, I reviewed your ordinance, and your ordinance is, I apologize because I find it a little confusing, but maybe it's my math deficiencies. But you have an ordinance that provides that pre-existing uses, it's parking, shared parking, AE. On pre-existing use, they would be, if we were to use this for what is permitted for at the present time, which is offices on the second, third, and fourth floors, we would be grandfathered in on parking. It would require, to meet your ordinance, I believe 37 parking spaces for offices. There are none now. If we were to develop this as a commercial office facility, we would have no parking and be deficient 37. We are having 10 units, and I believe it's 1.8, which are engineered. 1.5. So we need 15 parking spaces. But your ordinance gives us a calculation on how to figure out how much we need. And I find that we are negative. We need minus 22 parking spaces. That's the way your ordinance is set up. It's set up that we have to establish the existing number of parking spaces. That's 0. The minimum spaces required for your current use, that's 37. And you're then supposed to subtract what's necessary for this use. So that would be 15. So we come out with a negative 22. The way it's set up. I don't know if Mr. Goodreads is the same way, but that's the way I calculate it. But alternatively, we do have an obligation to pay in lieu of parking spaces, which we would do for the 15 parking spaces that are required. That's the way it's set up. I know you don't like it, but I didn't write it.
Are you waiting for a response from me?
Yeah, I know, well, you're
I have
very
an
much
issue with it.
concerned.
I have an issue with it.
Yeah, you're very much concerned with this
And I still am.
the facility.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to indicate to you is that you
I know what
provisions.
I understood exactly what you're saying.
Okay,
I still have a concern.
absolutely. So,
Can I go back to the first part? The 54 West Main, did you buy that also when you bought the cigar store building off of, you didn't buy that? And the one on South Street is grandfathered, and that's been apartments for many years. They didn't have to change use. The one on West Main Street, 54, has been grandfathered in because many years they didn't change for use. They were originally apartments.
you know, we're just giving that information for density purposes. How many units per acre technically are in the area, and there are units with facilities with greater density than this would have at 10 per unit.
I'm sorry, did you say 54 West Main? 54 West Main.
Yeah.
It has how many units? 4? It's on a 1/5 of an acre, so that would be 20 units per acre.
I mean, you're going on the square footage of the building, not
On
on that.
the square footage of the entire parcel.
Now, they provide parking.
Oh, they have parking.
They have their own parking on site.
We're just talking density. That's the two separate things. The comment from previously was the density, putting essentially, I think, based upon the 11 was 33 to 35 units per acre, which the council said was high. 20 units per acre is 54.
And if you're looking at the acre on the whole property, I figured the building, not the property. So that's the difference.
So, recap. We brought it down to 10 units. Now here we have 3 connected buildings on several different floors, and we have one of the buildings through the 4th floor. And we have units that are, most of them are in excess of 1,000 square feet for 2 bedrooms. Secondly, we have provided a 80 square foot refuse area which will service the building. And thirdly, we meet your ordinance as the parking on redevelopment. And it'll be obligated to pay for the differential. Questions?
That's my question. Can I bring up a couple of comments? that
Sure,
weren't addressed yet?
please.
They also had a concern with the fire escape. They wanted you to investigate that by the next meeting.
Well, we didn't have the opportunity to investigate. The answer is we're gonna have to go to the historic, commission for just the change of putting the air conditioning units on the roof. And at that time, we'll investigate the fire, and if it requires a replacement of the ladder or a substitute of that, we would deal with that with
Also
the
the,
historic preservation committee.
Also the window egress compliance.
Same thing. We believe that, I think we have a full compliance. Our architect is here, and I think he
Stating their concerns from last meeting.
testified that we have full compliance on that. We know that the air conditioning units on the roof will require historic preservation committee approval. And then at that time, of course, whatever we need to do for the fire is what we've done simultaneously.
How much roof space is there with all those antennas up there? Is there adequate room for air conditioning?
We have a top of the restaurant, and the room there also. We can have it there. On the 4th floor, we have it on the 2nd
the cell antennas are only
It's
on the
on
fourth
the
floor
fourth.
building.
Correct, yeah.
The other roofs are clear.
Most of the places now, there's the roof from the switches, some kind of switch roof, but most of it is.
And how are these buildings connected? I see there's one doorway on the second floor that connects the two buildings. Are they connected on all floors or just the second floor? And there's no elevator, correct?
Right.
I mean, see, my whole thing is the public safety part of this whole thing. You're gonna put 10 apartments in the building downtown. We're not sure about the windows for egress.
They're
compliant.
It hasn't been confirmed yet. It hasn't been confirmed yet. No elevator. And there's just a lot of moving parts to this thing that, from a public safety standpoint, is a concern to me. It's just my opinion.
They're not, the entire building's not 4 floors.
Understood, but being a former fireman, you train on stuff like this, and if this is just a mix of hallways and doorways, it's, in a smoke situation, it's easy to get disoriented. My concern is public safety. So does each floor connect, or just on the second, the buildings connect on the second?
The buildings connect on the second and third floor, and the fourth floor is just a single apartment. It's just a portion of one of the buildings where the fourth floor exists.
They connect in the same spot on the second, third
They
floor?
do.
It's not just, it sounds a lot to 10, but really figure out, you have like 3 buildings, okay, in town, regular 3-story building on Main Street. You have 3 buildings, so each one gets on each floor 2, so you have 3, so that's 9. And you have a first floor, you make another one there, but really, it's like a regular downtown west on Main Street, you have on 2 floors, you just gotta go to East Main Street also, you have 2 floors, each one has 2 apartments. And it's huge building, it's 20,000 square feet building, it's not like, take one small building, that's gonna be like, like a maze, it's not a maze, it's really very nice, organized inside. It has 2 entrances it's like only 1 entrance, you have on number 10, you have an entrance, number 6, you have an entrance, it's very spacious, it's not, it sounds like number 10, that's a lot. If you figure out the square footage, how the building looks like I have a block on Main Street. It's not one building.
I understand everything you're saying.
It's not like even around the corners, I would say it's much than this not connected. It's big.
I will assume it has to meet all fire codes.
This is gonna be a sprinkle.
I don't assume it will meet all fire codes, and if not, we won't be able to develop it.
It's gonna have a sprinkler system, how much building a 2-family, 4-family has a sprinkler system in town. I don't think anyone has.
I agree, Mr. Mayor. I've been in the building on fire calls. It's a very confusing building when you get inside.
It's my concern. Any other council comments?
Yes.
George?
Thank you, sir. Our job is to vote on what you propose. And tonight I'm going to do something a little different. You saw what we voted yes on moments ago. We sat through that entire presentation. Correct?
Yes,
Both
of course we were here. Yes, we
we
were
sat through the entire presentation. You saw what we voted yes on. And so, I'm not saying that do what those other guys are doing, but that was a no-brainer for us. I know the work that you've done inside across from our old Borough Hall. I've been in that building. You do good work. The question about the elevator, though, I think is an important one. If you could somehow figure out a way to do that, I think you're almost there. That's my only comment.
All right. Can we backtrack to the garbage for a second? Appreciate the fact that you've created a garbage room inside the building. So the garbage will be brought out on a regular basis. Where is it being brought to?
Every other building that we have on Main Street comes out. I have apartments on 46 West Main Street,
to bring 11 units worth of garbage onto Main Street. Sorry, 10 units worth of garbage onto Main Street twice a week and put it curbside.
Yeah. Nope.
That's not just like household garbage. I mean, I understand some of the other units that you have are further south on Main Street. They have front lawns. There's more of a depth of the corridor on the road. This is right on the sidewalk. Now if we could come to an agreement where the trash bins are going to be transported to the common dumpster behind the CVS, which is across the street, or the common dumpster in the market yard, I think that makes more sense. We're not having an unsightly pile of trash bags of 10 units, on Main Street, right on the sidewalk, feet from where the building entrance is. I think it makes a big difference, not only for the fact that it's an unsightly thing to see, we're dealing with that in other locations on Main Street as well, but I think that if you're trying to present this as potentially higher quality apartments, that's a detractor. So I think that if part of your trash process is to take the dumpsters or take the cans or whatnot and then transport them to one of those two locations, I think that would be a lot better. I know you talked previously about certain dumpsters in the McGaffin Triangle lot themselves. Those are small dumpsters that are already full on a regular basis. I don't think that you're going to be able to find a dumpster in there that you're going to be able to pile 10 units worth of trash into. And I really would suggest not putting it on Main Street, and I don't think that I would be able to agree with that. I think that those are your two options that you have to do for trash. Either the common location of CVS, which is across the street, around the corner a little bit. Right now you have a pathway until potentially something goes into where the pocket park is, but I think those are your better options for trash.
Do you want to respond to them?
I haven't. I actually looked on the way to kind of bring it over to the area. So I think it's a problem. I just thought it's better that the town picks it up on a daily basis. Whatever the town with the committee wants to have, we should take it over there.
Well, so
I checked it out, and it's not far away at all.
No, as the crow flies, it's not far. You're correct. It's across the street behind the building.
Yes, I checked it out.
It is. The path to travel is across the street down to Court Street and then around the side of the building. But you got to think about it from logistics purposes. If you're putting 10 household units worth of trash on the curb, if parking is on the same location there too, in front of the building, now you've got cars that are there with the garbage truck stopping on the side of the road. Potentially speaking, Thursdays are a bulk pickup day, so you've got people throwing out larger items that are not just a quick pickup of a bag. It causes a traffic issue, things like that. I think that all those items combined, and in addition to the fact that you're trying to present this in a certain way, would kind of facilitate the need to find one of those two common locations for trash.
I think the better option is to bring it over.
To the one
Yes.
two?
We would take that as a condition of approval.
Okay, perfect.
That's an easy one.
I appreciate that you have finally acquiesced that you have to go before HPC. I will say that it was a bit disturbing when the letter came in that said that there are no exterior changes after we had talked about at the last meeting that you were definitely going to be making exterior changes with the HVAC units and whatnot. So I'm glad that. I'm just saying I appreciate the fact that we finally come to that understanding.
We didn't realize.
Yeah.
That putting air conditioners on the roof is a change.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that we've now come to an agreement that there are exterior changes.
That'll be the next step.
I do want to reiterate that should the council approve a resolution tonight for this, that we do stipulate that there are no e-bikes inside the building and no window AC units that go in.
Correct.
And I want to just go back to the mayor's comment and Councilman Benedetto's comment about the layout of the building. I think one of the issues that, and it's hard, I understand it's hard, you're taking an existing building with existing stairs and whatnot, and trying to make this work. We have two street side entrances that go up to a second floor residential area. There's one set of stairs that goes up to the third floor in the center, another set of stairs that goes up to the third floor in the rear and then another set of stairs that goes from the 3rd floor up to the 4th floor. None of the stairs are contiguous. You have to get off at a landing, traverse down the hallway, go to another set of stairs, go up, traverse back down the hallway, and then go up again. It's difficult, and I can imagine so that for fire safety purposes, not having the ability to go up and down floors in a direct stairwell would be an issue. I do think that even though it may affect one of the commercial spaces on the 1st floor, I do think an elevator with some sort of residential use lobby in the front, which may require additional changes to the building, but I think it would make this building look a lot better. And additionally, you walked the building before, those set of stairs going up from the 1st floor to 2nd floor, those are doozy. I've visited businesses on that 2nd floor, professional offices, and you got to watch your step on those stairs. You start to get vertical down the stairs. I think that aside from the fact that it'll help organize the plan a little bit better and give you a central lobby, someplace where you can have nail spots, someplace where you can have people coming in, out of the weather before they go upstairs. I think the other thing about it is that it goes towards the idea of these larger units, these 1,100 square foot units that are not, you're right, there are certain homes in Freehold Borough that are 1,100 square feet and they're on their own properties. But I think that will make the difference between the style of apartments that you're looking for versus what you're presenting. I think that having some sort of central elevator, having a way for people to get from the ground floor all the way up to the 4th floor without traversing through a maze of corridors and whatnot, I think it just elevates, no pun intended, the quality of life for the apartment units and for the building. And I think that, as you can see, as Councilman Schnur said, we're looking for projects that elevate the quality of life, that provide rental units that are of a higher quality, higher standard. And I think that in today's day and age, especially in a building like this, where they're not not low floor heights, these are large distances that people are going to, tall distances that people are going to travel in. I think that brings it up towards the quality that we're actually looking for as a redevelopment entity. Absolutely.
So the first rule is, it looks very interesting because I'm coming from 10 units. But I'm going back to the same thing. We have over here really 3 buildings, not like one side, the right side, nothing to do with the middle, and the middle doesn't do with the left. And it's like, if I will come now and I will ask for just for one building 6 units, and then I'm going to go for a separate building for 4 units, and then another 4 units, it's going to look much better. It's nothing that people are running from one side to the other. It's not really, it's one application for 10 units, but really each building is separately. Nothing to do with each other. You can go walk by for each other, because that's how it's set up. For the offices, they made it this way. But really, you're looking at like a separate building. It's not, because it's open, it doesn't mean it's down as well. And everything's going to be fire safety. I know it's not maybe, the staircase is not everything that's closed. It's not a new building, it's an existing building. As much of the architect did as much as you can possibly change around and to make it work. Because we don't want to do outside changes, I think it's just inside. And then you have beams, you have all kind of stuff. You can't just make it nice because you want to do it nice. Inside, it has to make sense on the structure of the building. And he tried the best way he can do. And it's really a separate building. It's nothing like looking like a 10-unit apartment building. Cannot be division. It's a separate building. It's one location. And each place has their own unit. And I don't believe that unit A and unit B will have some kind of connection. It's a separate building. There shouldn't have any connection between them. It's people not going around. If somebody has to go to the right side, it's not going to come from the left side to go to the right.
So, I agree that your architect did a good job with the layout, trying to get everything to work in here. I have to disagree that you can't have it both ways. You can't have it as a separate building and then say it's one application for 10 units. It's either we're going to have 3 separate buildings or 2 separate buildings with different applications for the different number of units and that they're separated, or you're going to say that it's one building that's now coming together as one apartment complex. And right now you have it set up as one apartment complex. And I think that having it as one apartment complex, you've already made this choice that this is a building that's going to work together. And you're right, I'm not saying that someone on the 1st floor of A is going to be, or unit A on the 2nd floor is going to be, connected to on this unit D on the 2nd floor as well. What I'm saying is that in order to get from ground floor up to the 4th floor, it's not a straight shot up. It's an up and an over and a back and an up and a forward and an over and an up. It's a lot. And I think that because of the fact that you've now taken these 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor of these buildings and have married them together into a apartment unit that works together, there should be an opportunity to put some sort of vertical unit, a traversal, an elevator that can connect all these floors at the same time. And you'll have a central location that people can go up and down. Now, you're right, I understand. It's not easy to put an elevator in, okay? I get it. You said you don't put an elevator in because you want to do it. No, you put an elevator in because you want the building to function better. It's a historical building. It's never easy to do anything. The best thing, the easiest thing to do is to just leave the floors and the layouts as they are, move a couple walls, leave the stairs where they are, and call it a day, and try to get as much in as possible. But in order to make it a project that we're looking for, you want to go that extra step and that extra mile. And I think as a redevelopment entry, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those extra steps and extra mile. That's going to take this from an apartment building that is disjointed and broken in the connection points and make it into something that functions at a higher level. And obviously I can't make the decision for you. I mean,
it's a lot to make out.
It's a lot. It is.
You have the commercial downstairs. You can't just. And also, you have to understand one building is four floors, and the rest are 3. So how are you going to have the elevator go to the 4th floor? And basically, it's
well, I mean, do you want to go through the design checks right here? I might have to charge a professional fee, but the connection point between the two buildings, which is that corridor that goes from front to back along, we'll call it the right-hand side of the 4th floor building. That would be an ideal place. It might require some shifting of the hallway or whatnot, but if you were to somehow manage to be able to get an elevator in there somewhere, maybe the stairs are shifted over and move back.
You have to walk the commercial to get the elevator.
I know. But these are the challenges of owning a historic building that's been functioning as offices for who knows how many years. It's the creative solutions that make the difference. So, something to consider. Hopefully.
Anyone else? I think you know what we're thinking, and how we feel. Can we get a minute? Sure. Excuse me.
time in consideration, that we're looking into the possibility. The problem is we would lose the retail on the first floor. If we were to put up the elevator.
Elevator with the lobby and all kinds of stuff.
There's a small retail which is currently rented, so we have to figure out the lease and that on the first floor. We got a couple issues here. I understand your concerns. I understand Councilman Reich's concerns. The density at 10, if we lose the retail space, may not work, and you have to come back with 11 or 12. So that, we don't know.
Can I offer a creative idea?
Sure.
I don't necessarily think that you need to have an elevator and a stairs lobby in the same place. Obviously, for emergency exit purposes, having the stairs by the elevator works because people always connect the two together. I think that there's a way to make the stairs and hallway system a little less rabbit tunnel sort of circuitous way. I think you could have an elevator lobby and a stair lobby. For those people who want to use the stairs, they go through the door on the right-hand side that goes to the second and third floor. And for those who want to use the elevator, they can go on the left-hand side. And I think that in the second to the left commercial unit that has that deep display space, there may be an opportunity to use that as part commercial entrance, part lobby, if the stairs aren't there. Now, how it traverses, how that elevator goes up, I don't know offhand, but just looking at the plan, I don't necessarily know that you need those set of stairs on the left-hand side. If you can get some sort of elevator and a small lobby there, that location connects all the way up and down. It's going to take some creative design, which I'm sure your architect is more than adequate to do so. I mean, I've seen his work for many years, and I know he comes up with some creative solutions. But I think that you don't have to tie those two together. I think that if you do something like that, you might not actually eat up commercial space, other than maybe a display window. So it really just depends on where that elevator starts to go up when you go up, up to the higher floors. I think from looking at the plan on the fourth floor, the fourth floor apartment is set back due to some equipment, something like that. I don't know what the equipment is. I don't know if it can be relocated. I don't know if it can be shifted. But that's a dead space, quote unquote, non-residential space, that's above where the stairs are on the first floor. And on the third floor, it's a bedroom that could get kind of adjusted. The hallway, instead of going from the center to the back, could go from the center forward. And on the second floor, it's the little flag leg of the kitchen pantry area, with the stairs are behind it. So you might actually find that if you take out that set of stairs, that left set of stairs, and put an elevator in, you might actually gain some space on the residential floors and the commercial space. Because right now, based on the architect's plans, those residential stairs go up, and there's a closet or something under the stairs because of how long they are and how tall they have to get to the second floor. You might actually be able to gain back that space as clear ceiling height commercial space on the first floor. So I think you might actually find that there's a...
With the elevator, will be a part of the 11 units? The question?
Well, I guess we have to go back and redesign with the elevator.
Hey, what's the square footage on a 2-bedroom or 1-bedroom that you're looking for? What's the numbers?
I don't think it's, I think it's become more of a safety problem than now a density problem. I think the 10 apartments work. I think that you've addressed some of the other concerns that we had. Now it's just make the project safe. As Councilman Reich said, do what you need to do to make it safe so there's not, so if there is an emergency in that building, emergency workers can get in and, not have to go down the hallway to get to someone's apartment, or, it's a smoother transition. I understand completely what you're saying about it being 3 separate buildings, but as this is presented as one project, that's how we have to look at it. So, I think we're there. I think the last piece is just to make that safety piece work, to where, it's with the number of apartments that we have, that everybody has a safe entry and a safe exit. And if there is an emergency in the building, the emergency responders have a safe entrance and a safe exit. That's all we're looking for. I think you've addressed most of the concerns that we have.
And I think in connection with the trash, I think those two things, well, the trash would be,
Well,
you
to the
take
common
a look at
dumpster.
those two things.
Not on the street.
And just for me personally, I think that the apartment sizes are fantastic. You know, 1,000 square feet, 1,100 square feet for, for 2-bedroom apartments, I think is a great size. But I think that the size of those apartments kind of dictates that you want to have the amenities that are deserving of those sizes.
Sure, I wish I could have, but
I mean,
place.
but I think that of the things on the wish list to have, I think that this is designable and attainable.
As the architect, I'm hearing a lot from the board, and I just have one or two questions. I hear from some board members, the elevator. The elevator is not going to help in terms of any safety features, though, because that pretty much shuts down in the event of a fire if you're told not to use the elevators. So is the board looking at that more as an amenity for this kind of building, or a safety feature which it wouldn't really come into play as part of it?
I think it's two separate pieces that come together to make a whole. One is the elevator for the amenity. To go from the ground floor all the way up to the 4th floor. Have a nice apartment up on the 4th floor that overlooks downtown. I think is a great thing with that amenity. I think that by taking out that stair there and potentially looking at how the elevator fits into the puzzle pieces and where the other stairs align, that there's a way to maybe reorganize the stair route so that it's as close to similar on each of the upper floors.
Right, I hear that, but I think there's also a way of reorganizing the stairwells, perhaps without that elevator piece. And if the elevator piece now means he's losing retail space, losing, or needing to gain another apartment or two, I'm not sure where the board views that position.
So I speaking just for me on this, each floor has, except for the 4th floor, has 3 different elevators, stairwells.
I agree with that.
And it's a lot. And I think that if there were a way to create, if there's a way to make it so that you have, let's just go with the idea of the elevator lobby with the elevator that traverses to all 4 floors, and on the right-hand side there's a stairwell, that when you come up the stairwell, you come to a quarter that takes you to a central stairwell that goes from 2 and 3. Now you have your elevator, which you're right, is not a safety issue, a safety item, because as soon as there's a fire or fire alarm, pull the elevator, you don't use an elevator during a fire. But I think that for safety purposes and for the residents, there becomes this idea of any floor that you're on, that's one stair that goes down, or the path, the stair goes down from the 4th floor to the 3rd floor to the 2nd floor, and then from the 2nd floor either out the front or out the back onto the roof and down the fire escape. But here, even looking at the egress plan, every apartment has a couple different options to go to, which is nice, but none of them are the same based on the floor they have, And some roads lead to Rome, and some roads lead to Sydney, Australia, so it's a big difference between the two of them. But I think that if the puzzle pieces work to include an elevator there, I don't necessarily know how much you're going to be sacrificing with either commercial or residential if you get rid of that stair. Because that stair takes up a lot of both on the left-hand side of the building, because it is a long stair run because of how high you're going to get to the 2nd floor. Like I said, it's creative design, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for creative design. We're not looking for something just to get stamped into the plan, just to call it a day and get it moved forward. We want to work with you to make sure that your apartments are of the quality that you're looking to advertise them at, and that the style and the amenities that are for this building are to match that quality. You know, if you have a 1,000 square foot penthouse apartment, but you gotta walk 4 floors in no direct stair path, that's kind of a difficult sell, you know? I mean, at least in my opinion, it's a difficult sell to have to do that. But if you have something where there's amenities that kind of lead into that idea of higher quality apartments, this view on this penthouse view, you know, that sort of thing, I think those tie together, and I think that becomes a better selling point for you as a property owner, apartment owner. Plus, it also turns it into a project that we're looking for. You know, we're looking for that sort of level. There's a lot of puns in this thing. Level, elevated project. I'm on a roll tonight. My kids would be upset with me. They tell me to stop coming down. Yeah,
So, you agree with him?
Yes, because I mean, you saw what we said yes to.
Well, this is a different type of
I
development, but
understand, you don't have to,
trying to get a little
you
more.
don't have to do all these amendments, but you saw what we said yes to. That's what we want downtown Freehold to look like.
From my hearing, it's the interior to make it a little more organized, so it's a straight run for some of the people.
Make it a building. You know, tie it together. Make it a building, so that we don't have to talk about it being 2 or 3 different buildings that are coming together into one project. There's an opportunity to make it a building. You know,
I assume, I appreciate your time, I assume you're not gonna vote on this tonight. You want to see this on paper. Okay, that I do. Secondly, what is the next available meeting?
No, well, not right, January 16th, whatever that Tuesday is, Monday's a holiday, I believe.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, January 16th.
I won't be here. I figured the 7th, but.
that's where we work. That's where we work.
February 5th is the date after that.
Pardon me?
I think February 5th is the date after that one.
February 5th. Okay.
But I would ask, and I'm sorry, I would ask that, given this little bit of extra time that you have, if you could provide us with that window study that we asked for, and the fire escape inspection. You know, these are things that we like to know about, because even whether or not it has to go before HPC or whatnot, we would want to include this as part of a resolution should the project get approved. Make sure that there's I think that the common dumpsters are maintained by the Downtown Freehold organization, so I think you have to make sure that they can handle the extra 10 or whatever, which are the big dumpsters, I'm sure they can, but get those ducks in a row so that we can put these questions to bed, and hopefully.
Who takes care of that? Who takes care of the garbage?
If it's Downtown Freehold, then the head of the Downtown Business District is sitting in the back of the room. You have a conversation with him after the meeting. But I would say that we're getting step by step a little closer to this. But I think that given the time that you potentially have, I know you tried to resubmit this to get before this meeting because there's only like a 2 or so week time in between.
He's a contract purchaser.
Yeah.
The contract expires December 31st.
Right.
He has to have approvals.
Right.
So the first thing he's going to do is seek an extension of that.
Absolutely.
If there is no extension of that, then
again, and I hope that works in your favor because I think that this can be made into a really nice project. We just have to get all the pieces together.
I believe you guys want it to be a nice project.
Yeah, we do. But I would say that if since we have a little time, unfortunately, between now and the next meeting, let's get those things in place so that we can just say, okay, here's our agreement for the trash. Here's our agreement for this is the respective word. Put them to bed. We don't talk about it.
Other than Mrs. Schutzer, what's the parking issue?
I mean,
you have an ordinance in place and we're negative 22.
So, I'll speak just for me at the moment. I don't necessarily have an issue with the parking deficiency, parking negatives, whatever you want to call it. Our downtown has places where there's an abundance of parking and places where there are not abundance of parking. That's why we have the ordinance in place to allow for businesses to exist that don't have accessible parking to either pay the fee to offset the cost or to, you know, come up with an agreement. Now, I'm hopeful that there's a potential that you could find a way to make an agreement to reduce the negative or deficiency, whatever you want to call it. But in the meantime, I know that there's an ordinance in place that will cover that should it need be. You're right, as an office building, you would need a lot more parking than you're needing with this use. And I think that taking the units down from 14 units down to 10 units reduces that need as well. And I think we appreciate, most of us appreciate that concession. But I would say that, you know, try to find somebody that has some parking spots that could potentially be leasable. You know, again, it's a creative solution. But if not, that's why our ordinance is in place.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Any other comments that would help us in our, hopefully, the next year?
My comment won't help you, but Mrs. Schutzer does have something to say. During the break, when you were out in the hallway, look at Mr. Steiner smiling. When you were out in the hallway, Mr. Reich leaned over and told me that he didn't use the word disrespectful, but that's what he meant by having my arms crossed during the whole thing. So I just want to say.
I didn't even pick that up.
Oh, good. You're a troublemaker. So I just want to tell you, I'm freezing. When I walked in this room, I said, it's cold in here, and I still think it's cold in here. And I mean absolutely no disrespect, just like your architect, for having my arms crossed. So,
I didn't
please.
notice it, and I didn't
Good.
take your body language.
You didn't pick up on it. No, because my body language is usually much more
Out there.
out there.
Anyone else make a comment? Go
I
ahead.
hope you get the extension and are able to come back so
Yeah,
that
thank
we can put a
Okay.
close comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item 12 is public comments. If anyone from the public would care to make a comment to the governing body, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public comment, like that, can a motion to close public comment?
So move.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers? Schnur?
Yes.
Schutzer?
Yes.
Okay, public comment section is closed. Item 13 are council comments. Let's start off with Council President Benedetto.
Yes, my condolences to the McIlvain family, Bud McIlvain, who was a firefighter for 9 years in Monmouth's and has struggled with heart disease over the last several years. My condolences to his family. That's why the columns are covered at this time. Also, starting tomorrow night, you'll hear the fireman who's going, so don't get alarmed. Hopefully there'll be no fires. The sand run starts tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we hear the sirens screaming. That's what it's all about. And Councilman Schnur, it's been a pleasure. I can honestly say, Jeffrey, congratulations to you. You have big shoes to fill, but I know you're the man for the job. I've only had two. Two guys have run with me, and it's kind of weird after 27 years. But we're gonna miss you. Right, Shannon?
I'm not going to Florida, don't worry.
Today you highlighted what you're going to be doing with the bulb out on the snowman after the storm. So you've got too much time on your hands. So I hope it echoes, throughout the community. A big thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jordan.
Thank you. Just a couple of things. Recreation has launched its new basketball league, along with Coach Victor Conover and Wendell Everett and Andrew Guy. They brought this whole thing together. The games will be held at Park Avenue Gym on Saturdays, and we have from 3rd to 8th grade, and we have over 100 kids signed up. So there was a void in the community for that, and they kind of stepped up and took it over and partnered with Recreation. So if you have an opportunity, you want to move and see the kids out there. Also on Thursday evening at 5:30, Recreation will be announcing the winners of the holiday decorating contest. It'll be down at the Hall of Records, be refreshments and music, so come on down. Health Department has a 3-week clinic on January 27th from 11 to 9 at the firehouse, so if anybody has any cats or dogs that need to get the shot, bring them on down. And that's about all I have. George, it's been a pleasure working with you. You've been a mentor, a coach, and I appreciate that, and good luck with whatever you're going to move forward doing. And everybody have a happy and healthy, safe holiday, and we'll see you back there next year.
Thank you. Councilman Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're going to move on to like 5 different committees that we First off, I want to, we went to the menorah lighting last week, and the rabbi does a fantastic job, and it was nice to see everybody downtown at the Hall Records Plaza, lighting the menorah and singing songs and spinning dreidels. Did miss latkes this year, but that's okay. I had plenty of them at my mom's house over the weekend, so I wasn't missing too much. Earlier today, a number of us attended the Monmouth County Planning Board meeting where the Half Mile of Horses Park Walk was recognized as a For Merit Award, and I just want to extend my congratulations again to Dominica and Jeff and Brianne and everybody on the MPP who worked on that program. It's a fantastic art exhibit, event, attraction, and I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing it downtown again this coming warmer spring and summer and for some more years to come. Saturday at noon was the Elks Point Reeds Across America ceremony. It was fantastically attended. It was beautiful weather for it. And I just wanted to say thank you to George for the coordination on that and for doing that for many years. It comes together very smoothly, and I know how much work you do behind the scenes to make sure it happens like that. So I really appreciate that. And on behalf of the Masonic Lodge, we appreciate that as well. I want to say, George, I've known you for many years on as many different roles, on many different boards and commissions, and I really appreciate all your guidance and being a mentor toward me over the years. Part of me misses the night before planning and zoning board meeting calls that I would get and things like that. But part of me is hopeful that we can switch to a spring break attire for some of our meetings now that you're not going to be showing up dressed to the nines. So I want to wish you all the best of luck and congratulations. And Jeff, congratulations to you, and looking forward to working with you up here on council starting a couple weeks from now. Last but not least, thank you for everybody who stayed. Happy holidays to you all. May you all have a very happy and healthy holiday season and a healthy new year. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rogers.
Thank you. I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday. Hope that everyone who celebrated Hanukkah had a wonderful Hanukkah. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. Trying to get them all in there. I just want to say also too that I'm really looking forward to next year. It's been an exciting year with a lot of things happening, and next year is going to be even better, so I'm looking forward to that. The one thing I'm not looking forward is not sitting next to Mr. Councilman Schnurr, and I do wish you all the best in your retirement from council and retirement from your job. And, you know, I know you're still going to be very involved, but we will miss sitting here with you. So enjoy your free time.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Let's go next to Councilwoman Schuster.
I think it's appropriate that I speak last. I want to formally welcome Mrs. Asia Michael as the new superintendent of our K-8 district. Several of us met with her the other night, and she's only been here since December 11th, and she was already impressed by the community and the community feel of the school district. So we welcome her, and we're looking forward. She seems very enthusiastic, and we're looking forward to working closely with her. On a sad note, Heidi Bracci, a 17-year veteran teaching at our intermediate school over here, was president of the Teachers Association, very active in many of the programs over there. passed away at the age of 48. And I just thought it appropriate that we mention her and think about her family. She has a 2-year-old grandson who was the apple of her eye, so he's going to miss her. Today's award was wonderful, and I congratulate Dominica and Jeff and Brianna and all the committee members who worked so hard on that. I also want to point out to you that the horse on display out in our vestibule was done by, I believe, 14-year-old daughter of Sasha, who is our administrative assistant upstairs. So take a look at that as you leave. That is really a wonderful, wonderful project. Also, sadly, many of you know Robert Taylor, who is the Freehold chapter president of the NAACP, and sadly, Robert lost his wife yesterday, and we're very saddened by that. They were soulmates, and it's sad. So we send our best wishes to him. Oh, now to George. You ready, Georgie?
Yes, I am. Just checking to see if you have your arms folded or not.
No, I need my hands to speak with you. I thought about bringing a bouquet of flowers to the meeting tonight to send home to Diane, because as all of you know, at every reorg meeting, George would say, and the only person who has veto power over my serving is my wife Diane. And I always said to him, sometimes audibly and sometimes not, if you think Diane is going to veto your being out of the house to do all of this stuff, you're nuts. So she never did veto that. So my heart goes out to Diane, who's also retired right now, because now that George can't be in the yard mowing that lawn every day, I just don't know how she's going to be able to manage this whole thing. George, you and I have had our differences through the years, but we shared a lot, and we shared our love of this town and our desire to do a good job. I always look to you, as you know. I always look to you for the financial advice with council, and I always trusted your opinions. And I will have to say that I will miss you. I was saddened by your, and that's no reflection on Jeff, it's wonderful to have him, but I was saddened when you told me, if you recall, when you told me that you were not going to run again. I was saddened by that, because I do think that your heart is in this town, and that you hold everything dearly that has to do with Freehold. So I do hope, and that's why I recommended that you stay on in perpetuity as the Memorial Day Parade, on the Memorial Day Parade Committee. I hope that you continue your wonderful work with all of the veterans and the Veterans Affairs. And honestly, I wish you nothing but good things. Health, happiness, and everything important in your retirement.
Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Last but not least, Councilman Schnarr.
Well, first of all, I'm happy that I actually got a chance to vote on the conditional redeveloper for the properties. This has been quite some time to go through all this, and I've been on a lot of field trips. I put a lot of time into it, and I'm glad to actually see it to this point. And I'm really happy that Meridian decided to pick local attorneys here. might be retiring, but I'm not moving to Florida, I'm not moving out. I've had a lot of people ask me, George, are you moving someplace? I'm not moving to Howell, I'm not moving to Florida, I'm still gonna be around. As Sharon mentioned, I'm still gonna be on the Memorial Day Parade and the Veterans Committee. I've already shared a couple ideas with Mayor Kane on what we're gonna do with that. It just won't be an every week affair, and I'm happy about that. So anyway, I appreciate all the time that you folks have put up with me, and also the times that you listen to me. And we'll move on. I know I felt very relieved when I knew that Jeff was going to be the person to replace me. Very relieved, because you're not going to miss me very often with him running around. That's it.
Thank you, George. I just have a couple quick comments. Again, everybody mentioned redevelopment. This we talked about. This is an exciting night here. That we're finally at the starting line in this redevelopment project. And like I mentioned, I have to thank Steve and Joe for the leadership in this. I mean, it was I know Steve's tortured Joe. Joe would be another meeting, another presentation, another town hall, another this, and but it was Steve's vision to make this transparent throughout the entire community, so the community knew exactly what we were trying to do, and it was a process, but we had a lot of input from all the council members, community members, business residents, and but I just want to put it out there and thank you guys once more. Just a quick shout out, thanks to Mark Farrell for spreading some holiday cheer this Saturday in front of the Hall of Records. It's crazy number of people blowing the horns and filming as they're going. I was just standing there saying, I hope there's no accident. Because we're all, but it just creates this a pop-up holiday, excitement that we try to do. So, thanks. Also, in lines with the holiday, the chief just mentioned that the Santa Trolley is this Saturday at 10 a.m., right? Santa Trolley will be going around. We also have a special guest with us tonight, Dina Gunn, council president, is with us this evening. So thanks for coming and watching us in action here. George. Where do you start? It's Jeff, you do have some big shoes to fill. I mean, George is if you want something done as the being the mayor, you want somebody like George on your team, because if there's something that needs to be done, you just say, hey George, what do you think about this? What do you need? Next thing you know, you're getting phone calls and reports and everything. I mean, he is relentless in everything he does. The fact that Diane and George are both retired. Diane called me the other day and asked if she could get on a couple committees. just to get her out of the house. She said, please put me on something with a lot of meetings. So I think Diane's looking forward to having you at home, George. I'm just kidding. But, George's been on council since 2008 and has done a tremendous job. And, just want to thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for helping me as the mayor and as a council member. I really, really appreciate your hard work and everything you did. So best of luck, like everyone said. Whatever you're going to do, whether if you continue umping, maybe we'll see you in the major leagues someday or something. But whatever you decide to do, best of luck. Yeah, health and happiness along the way.
I had somebody ask me if I'd be interested in doing a Freehold Township podcast like every 2 weeks. I says, no, I can't. We're gonna leave the inside stuff alone.
There's there'll be a lot of opportunity for George. He's not, like he said, he's not going to Florida. He's not going. You'll see him around often. So, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Item 14 this evening is a resolution authorizing a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provision of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12 B8, involving personnel matters. So we're going to be going into the executive session to talk about some personnel issues, and then we will come back out to close the meeting. There'll be no business transaction, we will be closed, but we will be coming back out. But, you stick around for this?
Oh, we did.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion to go into executive.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Benedetto?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Reich?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schnur?
Yes.
Stetser?
Yes.
All right, thanks. We are going into exec session right now, and we will be back as soon as we're finished. Thank you very much for coming.